Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Mythology with your host Nitin Nair. Well, it is known to everyone that despite the fact that we cover all these mythologies, there are a few that are extremely interesting to me and which I strive to give you as much information as possible. Now, it's not a case of showing preferences or favorites, it's just that there are some things that really excite you. One of the things that really excite me is Egyptian mythology, mainly because the presence of the Egyptians have stood the test of time. Whether it's the pyramids or the mummies that are found on a regular basis, or even artwork and pottery that can be still discovered today, actually creates a huge amount of interest just because of the fact that we are still discovering a lot more physical evidence to what otherwise would have been another lost civilization and lost mythology. Today we look into one more of Egyptian mythology's most famous characters, and that is Anubis. Anubis is the god of the afterlife and is often confused with the older Wepwawet. It is believed that before the First Dynasty of Egypt, he developed a cult following in order to be invoked on the walls of royal tombs, in order to protect them from wild dogs and jackals who frequently dug up freshly buried bodies. The Egyptians believed that a powerful canine god was the best protection against these wild canines. Like other ancient Egyptian deities, he had various roles and was often depicted as a protector of graves by the First Dynasty. By the Middle Kingdom, he was replaced by the god of the underworld, who would be named Osiris. As a god, he was known to bring souls into the afterlife. He was also known to attend the weighing scale, which was used to determine if a soul could enter the realm of the dead. Anubis was often depicted as a black canine, a jackal-dog hybrid, or a muscular man with pointed ears. The color black was chosen because it represented the decay of the body and the life-giving soil of the Nile River Valley. The powerful black canine then was a protector of the dead who made sure they received the due rites in burial and stood by them in the life after death to assist their resurrection. An exceedingly rare depiction of him in full human form was found in the tomb of Ramses II. He was also known for wearing a ribbon and holding a flail in his arm. In funerary contexts, he would also be depicted sitting on the deceased person's tomb or guarding it. He was initially considered the son of Hesat and Ra, but after he was assimilated into the myth of Osiris, he was later held to be the child of Osiris and NEPHTHYS. A story of the First Dynasty states that NEPHTHYS was attracted to the beauty of his iris, and she transformed herself to look like his wife Isis. She became pregnant and gave birth to Anubis, but she abandoned him when he was only a few months old. Isis found out about the affair and went searching for the infant, and when she found him, adopted him as her own. Seth also found out about the affair, and this is given as a part of the reason for his murder of Osiris. Before the Greeks arrived in Egypt, a god known as Inpu or Anpu was the root of the name translating to a royal child. He was also known as First of the Westerners, Lord of the Sacred Land, He who is upon his sacred mountain, Ruler of the 9 Bows, the Dog who swallows millions, and Master of Secrets. He was also known as He who is in place of embalming and foremost of the divine booth. Anubis was especially focused on the care of the dead and the funerary cult. He is believed to have invented the embalming process, which was first used on the corpse of Osiris. As a god of the afterlife, Anubis was deeply involved in every aspect of a person's death experience. He served as a judge and a guide after death. During the early dynastic period and the Old Kingdom, he was the sole god of the dead, who was righteous and the righteous judge of the soul. As the popularity of the myth of Osiris grew, he was assimilated into it and became a child of the two deities. After being integrated into the myth of Osiris, Anubis was often seen as the god's protector and a right-hand man. He was also known to help oversee the rituals of the dead, and he would sometimes be called upon to protect and avenge souls of the dead as well. Although he is well represented in art throughout ancient Egypt, his role in many myths is static. He has performed only one solemn function, which was to protect the body. So as you can see, unlike gods in many other cultures, Anubis had a very specific role which he was expected to deliver. Even the mythological stories that revolve around Anubis focuses only on this one element of his life, which was the act of embalming, protecting the dead, and ensuring that they have a righteous or a safe passage into the afterlife. Anubis was never involved in any of the other conflicts and religious tensions that arose from different pharaohs taking over and bringing their own gods into the forefront, but he was always present, and the unfortunate assimilation into the story of Osiris denied him his own character arc and storyline in Egyptian mythology. Thank you very much for tuning in to another episode of Mythloke. Before signing off, I would like to remind you that our other podcast, The Daily Vanilla, is back online after almost a 3-month hiatus. So do check it out and get back to us with your comments, feedback, and love. Don't forget to subscribe, like, or share our podcast Mythloke as well, because that is the only way we can reach out to a lot more people and spread the love and interest in mythology as we go along. This is your host Nitin Nair, signing off by reminding you once again that Mythloke is the home of mythology.